An ancient prophet, writing over 2,500 years ago, described a massive invasion of Israel in the last days. He said it would come from the uttermost parts of the north and would be led by a mysterious figure named Gog. Today, a global power in the far north is making aggressive moves on the world stage, forming alliances and rattling its sabers. Is this a coincidence? Or is Russia's end-time role, as described by the prophet Ezekiel, finally being revealed? The intersection of geopolitics and biblical prophecy is one of the most fascinating and contentious areas of study. For centuries, interpreters have looked at the world map, trying to connect the dots between ancient texts and modern nations, and no prophecy has captured more attention in this regard than the Battle of Gog and Magog, described in stunning detail in Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39. The stakes are enormous. If these ancient prophecies are indeed playing out in our daily headlines, it means the world is on a collision course with a divinely orchestrated conflict that will reshape the Middle East and set the stage for the end of the age. But this is not a realm for speculation. It demands careful, sober analysis, grounded in geography, history, and sound biblical interpretation. We must avoid the temptation to force connections where they don't exist, and instead build a careful, evidence-based case. So, let's open the scroll of the prophet Ezekiel and investigate the identity of this northern invader and their role in the final act of human history. The prophecy begins with a divine command to Ezekiel: "Son of man, set your face toward Gog, of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Ezekiel is told that in the latter years, this leader, Gog, will assemble a massive coalition of nations to invade the land of Israel. The Bible gives us a specific list of the allies who will join this invasion. Persia, Cush, and Put are with them, as well as Gomer and Beth Togarmah from the uttermost parts of the north. To understand this prophecy, we have to become ancient geographers. We need to identify these nations not by their modern names, but by their locations in the ancient world. Let's start with the leader of the invasion. Gog is from the land of Magog and is the prince of Meshech and Tubal. The first-century Jewish historian Josephus identified Magog with the Scythians, the fierce nomadic tribes who inhabited the vast territories north of the Black and Caspian Seas. This is the region of modern-day Russia and parts of Central Asia. Similarly, Meshech and Tubal were ancient kingdoms located in the area of modern-day Turkey and southern Russia. The text repeatedly emphasizes that this invasion comes from the uttermost parts of the north. If you draw a straight line directly north from Jerusalem on a map, you pass over Turkey and end up squarely in the heart of Russia, with Moscow almost due north. The geographic evidence is compelling. The leading nation in this coalition comes from the far north of Israel. Now let's look at the allies. The first one listed is Persia, which is the easiest to identify. Persia is the ancient name for the modern nation of Iran. The alliance between Russia and Iran today is a major geopolitical reality. They are strategic partners, cooperating on military, economic, and political fronts. This modern alliance is a stunning reflection of the coalition described by Ezekiel thousands of years ago. The next allies are Cush and Put. Cush is the ancient name for the region south of Egypt, primarily modern-day Sudan and Ethiopia. Put refers to the area of modern-day Libya and parts of North Africa. We see Russia today extending its influence deep into Africa, forming military and economic partnerships in these very regions. The final allies mentioned are Gomer and Beth Togarmah. Gomer is often identified with the Sumerians, who settled in parts of modern-day Turkey and Eastern Europe. Beth Togarmah is also located in the area of modern Turkey. This points to a coalition that includes Russia, Iran, Turkey, and a host of African and Central Asian nations. The sound of this prophecy coming to life is the sound of diplomatic cables being exchanged between Moscow, Tehran, and Ankara, the hum of military drones over shared airspace, and the signing of strategic partnership agreements. But why do they invade? Ezekiel gives two reasons. First, a divine one. God himself says, I will turn you around and put hooks into your jaws, and I will bring you out. God is sovereignly drawing this army into Israel for his own purposes, to judge them and to make his name known to the nations. But the invaders have their own motive. God says to Gog, "You will devise an evil scheme. You will say, 'I will go up against a land of unwalled villages, to seize spoil and carry off plunder.'" The invasion is motivated by greed. The target is a prosperous and seemingly unprotected Israel. In recent years, massive natural gas fields have been discovered off the coast of Israel, making it a major energy player. This newfound wealth, combined with its technological prowess, makes Israel a tempting prize for a resource-hungry nation like Russia and its allies. The prophecy describes Israel as living in security, a nation brought back from the sword and gathered from many peoples. This is a perfect description of Israel today, a nation reborn in 1948 after centuries of exile, yet surrounded by enemies. The climax of this prophecy is not the success of the invasion, but its catastrophic failure. As the northern armies descend upon the mountains of Israel, God intervenes directly and supernaturally. Ezekiel describes a great earthquake, torrential rain, hailstones, fire, and sulfur raining down from heaven. The invading soldiers will be thrown into confusion and turn on one another. The Lord declares, "I will vindicate my holiness and my greatness, and I will make myself known in the eyes of many nations. Then they will know that I am the Lord." The reveal is that this battle is not a contest between armies. It is a confrontation between God and the nations that defy him. The invading force is utterly annihilated, not by the Israeli military, but by the direct hand of God. The aftermath is staggering. It will take 7 months for the house of Israel to bury the dead and cleanse the land. It will take 7 years to burn all the captured weapons for fuel. The fallout is that this event will be an undeniable global demonstration of the power and sovereignty of the God of Israel. No one will be able to explain it away as a lucky break or a military miscalculation. The world will be forced to confront the reality of God's existence and his covenant faithfulness to his people Israel. The timing of this battle is a matter of debate, but many scholars believe it takes place shortly before or at the very beginning of the 7-year tribulation. It could be the event that destabilizes the world and creates the power vacuum that the Antichrist steps in to fill, confirming a peace treaty in its wake. What we are witnessing today, with the strategic alignment of Russia, Iran, and Turkey, and their increasing presence in the Middle East, is the setting of the stage for this prophesied conflict. We are not saying it will happen tomorrow, but we are saying that the geopolitical pieces are moving into place in a way that aligns precisely with the ancient prophecies of Ezekiel. This is a call to watch, to be aware, and to understand the times in which we are living. If you believe that understanding God's prophetic plan is essential for navigating our complex world, subscribe to our channel as we continue to analyze current events through the timeless lens of Scripture.